Hey everybody, welcome back. I'm Caden. This is Stephanie. And this is Real Talk Real Estate. And I'm electric today. Oh, we're spiking. Okay, damn, we're loud. Okay, yeah, let's get to the point. Today's video, I don't even know how to explain it. We all know the world's so
flipping weird
right now. You know, a whole lot going on all over, and with all of that happening, everything that just drives uncertainty up everywhere. It's no different last year when we had the tariffs and the trade war at almost the same time right now, I think, where at least real estate wise, you know, what's going to happen. It puts this uncertainty across everybody. Do I want to actually still sell right now? Do I want to buy right now? What's going to happen? What's 3 months, 6 months, 9 months? Like where are things going to lay out? Where's everything going to lay out? So that's the exact kind of same scenario we're in right now, where you've already kind of noticed a little bit of a slowdown as that uncertainty is rising. What's going to be the outcome of all this? Real estate kind of is always an outlier with this stuff, and across the board can have big effects, economy, all that. Real estate is just kind of its own little bubble. Kind of bubble around this. And in Alberta, we're kind of in a weird disconnect from the rest of the country at times too, because of how much our economy specifically is tied to the energy. I don't even know what word I was looking for there, but you see oil prices rising, this and that, it helps the Alberta economy because of our production there. And with that, it can drive our housing market up. While the rest of Canada's housing market may go down.
So, kind of to sum up what Caden said in this video.
That was a ramble.
In this video, we're kind of going to cover some historical happenings and kind of compare to what is currently going on, and kind of just give like some predictions based off of those historical events that maybe we might see this time around again.
Yeah, not even really predictions, but just this is what's happened, and I mean, you can't really predict anything around any of this stuff.
That's true.
But there's similar instances that have happened in the past that
kind of give some insight to it, and yeah, for sure. Okay, so with that being said, we'll jump right in. We are not in any way taking any political side or
that has nothing to do with this. This is all
factual, historical. What happened and what could happen. Take it away.
Sweet. Yay. Okay, I think a lot of this is honestly a whole bunch I just said.
Politics are hard.
Yeah, hey, I really did nail a lot of that. Yeah, but basically, recapping, when oil prices rise, it can basically increase costs across everything: transportation, manufacturing, everyday goods, and with those things getting pushed up in price, that's going to raise inflation even higher. And when inflation rises, you're going to get interest rates coming up, and those interest rates directly are going to affect the house market, mortgages, affordability, all of that. So the kind of chain reaction that comes from that is, well, global conflict, rising oil prices, inflation, interest rates, and then onto the housing market. And that's kind of the domino effect of how it reaches us.
Yeah. So one of our historical examples that we have here was the oil crisis, which happened in 1973. It kind of followed the war in the Middle East. So several oil-producing countries restricted oil exports, causing global oil prices to rise quite dramatically. Across Canada, this created high inflation and high interest rates, which eventually slowed the housing markets in many of the regions here. But Alberta, again, because we're kind of the forefront of oil here in Canada, it did experience something a little bit different. So higher oil prices brought investments, it brought jobs, it brought population growth into the province, which actually increased housing demand and created stronger activity in the real estate market. Mic drop, if I could.
I would, but I'd shut down the whole system if I touched it right now.
He has it's a staticky sweater. It's the socks that you're wearing or something.
Man, I don't know anymore.
He touches the mic and then I don't even want to touch it. It
shocked me in the mouth, or like I'm trying to stay away from this thing.
But yeah, so that's kind of the first example that we have, kind of like what Caden was saying in the beginning, because we are kind of the forefront of oil for Canada.
Mm-hmm.
Higher oil prices and kind of what we're seeing going on right now in the U.S., which is starting to affect Canada, might not affect Alberta as negatively as some people may be anticipating.
Mm-hmm.
Again, lots of jobs are going to be ended up coming here because if demand stays the same but the supply has gone down, we're going to need to supply more here. So that means jobs, that means investments, and again, population growth here, which people relocating and...
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, and just to build off that, so our second example was in 1979.
Iranian?
Do we actually want to, should I be saying Iranian Revolution? Do we want to go that deep into it? I just don't want to catch strays, As a white man, I don't want to catch strays.
It's historical.
Okay. Let's get back to it. To build off that, a second example was in 1979 during the Iranian Revolution, which disrupted global oil production and caused another major spike in oil prices. Inflation increased globally, and following that, interest rates started to rise as well to super high levels in the 80s. I think around 20%, which is, jeez.
Yeah.
But again, in Alberta, the surge in oil prices, they helped fuel another economic expansion, where the rest of Canada is kind of stagnant. Alberta's just cruising because of that oil production. And you had, again, many more people moving into Alberta for work in the energy industry. And the increase in migration created strong demand for housing, which drove up our housing market, our new home builds, everything just kind of took off again. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so example number 3, this one is for the Gulf War. This was during the 1990s when, should I say that? When Iraq invaded.
Say it like this, damn, just say Gulf War.
Okay, yeah. So during the Gulf War in 1990, Canada entered a recession shortly afterward, which slowed down the housing market across the country. But Alberta's market was already recovering from an earlier oil downturn. So the effects were different here, but it still showed how global events can ripple through the economy and can influence real estate markets. So yeah, so I guess what we're watching right now, when it comes down to today's situation, there are 3 key things economists and investors are watching closely right now. And firstly, it's oil prices, just because, energy markets tend to react quickly to global tensions.
Which everyone's already seen if you've been to the gas station in the last 2 weeks.
I know. It's like a second bill now.
$1.55 today, I saw.
See, I should have gassed up last week.
I know. I always do that. Or it's like I should have gassed up. I'm driving home at night and I'm like, I should get gas. No, I'm going to get it in the morning. And then I go in the morning and it's 5 cents more.
I know.
Oh, man. Take me back in time, please.
I know.
And I still don't learn from my faults.
Me neither. I'll drive with a teaspoon of gas.
Oh, God. I know it's bad, but
okay, secondly, another thing that people are watching closely right now, inflation. Since higher energy costs can influence prices across the economy, which, again, just like Hayden said, we've already started to see. And third, interest rates, which plays a major role in determining mortgage costs and housing plausibility and affordability amongst many people here in Alberta and across Canada.
Yeah, and that'll be interesting. I mean, just chatting with a few mortgage brokers and everything, fixed rates have already started to climb up a little bit. That happened pretty quick. And March 18th, there's the Bank of Canada announcement, which it still sounds like that's just going to stay and they're not going to raise them or cut them. But, I mean, you never really know.
You never know. I mean, so much can change between now and then, too, especially with...
Well, exactly. That's a whole week still. And Yeah, Yeah. So what this means for Alberta real estate, well, the important thing to remember is that real estate market is not just influenced by one thing and one thing only. There's a ton of factors that will influence the market as a whole: interest rates, job growth, population movement, housing supply. There's a whole lot that goes into it.
Yeah.
And global events like this can affect the broader economy, but Alberta's connection to the energy sector sometimes, as we've kind of gone over in these historical events, sometimes where the global economy is slowing down, Alberta still picks up and kind of has that, I don't want to say advantage. Advantage seems like a bad word to say there, but but the market can respond differently across Canada.
Yeah. So, I mean, one thing history consistently shows is that real estate, again, tends to move based on long-term economic fundamentals, not just short-term headlines. Not saying that what's happening right now is a short-term headline by any means, but while global events can influence those fundamentals, they're only one piece of a much larger picture, just like Kaden was saying with, housing supply, population movement, and all of that stuff. It all plays a factor into it.
Yeah, and if you're interested in really getting a full deep dive on the more central Alberta market and kind of what's happening here, we do a whole ton of that.
We do. Twice a week. Yeah, so if you're watching this on TV, you can find us on YouTube by searching Real Talk Real Estate, where we post regular updates on what's happening in the market. And if you found this video helpful, make sure to like, subscribe, and let us know in the comments, do you think global events influence real estate more than people realize? Thanks for watching, and we will see you in the next video.
See you in the next one.